In three, two, one. We're live. Good afternoon, salam, sat sri akal, namaste, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Entab Presents Campus Care Debate, a platform which is so unique and so exclusive that educators, students from all across India participate and express their viewpoint on burning topics related to education, society at large. So, without much further ado, let me quickly introduce you to our jury for the debate. Our first principal is Dr. Parminder Kaur. She's from Paradise International School, Patiala, Punjab. Parminder ma'am, over to you. A few words of encouragement for the kids.
Very good evening to all the participants, and thank you, Entab Infotech, for giving me the chance to be the jury of this show. So I wish good luck to all the participants. This is a very good topic. Should religious education be a part of school curriculum or not? So let us wish, let us hope to see or listen to the good viewpoints of the children for the motion and against the motion. So good luck to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the lovely words. The next jury that we have is Dr. R.K Singh. He's the principal of DPS Sitapur. R.K, sir.
Good evening, and all the participants. All the best to all of you. Give your best thoughts related to this topic. That is, should religious teachings be part of academic curriculum? I hope that you are well prepared and you will share something wonderful which will enrich us as well as to all the team members and the jury members. I would also like to say hello to all the jury members and good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, R.K. sir. Our next principal for our next jury member is from Witty International School, Malar, Mumbai. He's the principal over there, and his name is Mr. Bijo Kurian. Bijo, sir, over to you. Sir, I guess you're on mute.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, loud and clear now.
Yes. Good evening, all of you. Good evening to all the jury members and the participants. I wish you all the very best for today's debate. And I'm a little more excited about to know about the new generation's concept about religion. And it's a very, very relevant topic because this is something which considered to be a older generation's discussion. And NTAB has brought in this to the new generation, and I'm very excited to hear how this new generation is looking into religion and how they want the religion to be their day-to-day life, where spirituality is basically losing its real dynamics in the real life. So I really congratulate NTAP to come up with a very wonderful topic, and I wish all the participants to come out your best of your ideas. And once again, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the kind words. The next expert in jury we have is Dr. Ranjan Roy. He's the principal of Dayawati Modi Academy, Ramnagar, Varanasi. Dr. Roy, can you please tilt your camera a bit downwards? We are unable to see you properly, sir. Up बढ़िया.
Is it better?
Yes, sir. Much better. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So, namaskar to each one of you. So, NTAP was doing a wonderful job throughout the lockdown period. I'm not considering what all they have done before lockdown, but during period I was keeping a track what all NTAP is doing. So, this is another effort of NTAP to invite the participating students from all across the country to such an apt topic. Should religious teaching be part of academic curriculum or not? So five participants are there for the motion and five are against the motion. So I would love to see what all way they put across their logic, and I believe it will be a nice discussion and lot of takeaway for all of us, not only the participants, for all of us. So I'm thankful to NTAP for inviting me as one of the judges. So I appreciate the effort of NTAP, and I hope that all of us will be enjoying this exciting effort of NTAP and lot of takeaway from today's debate. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the thank you so much, sir, for the lovely words. And to all the contestants, I welcome you all. I know you guys have been preparing really hard, and I'm hoping to have an exciting debate with you guys. So, before I begin, let me quickly go over for the rules. So every contestant will get 5 minutes to speak on the topic. The speech must not exceed 7 minutes. After you finish the speech, the floor will be open for interjection. An interjector is allowed only one question per contestant. Cross questioning is allowed, but only once. Speaking out of turn or any misbehavior can lead to immediate disqualification. The decision by the jury will be deemed final. So, before I begin, and to all my lovely subscribers and viewers who are watching me on YouTube, and I know you guys are questioning a lot, like Sky Gladiator, I have this user ID. He's asking us that how can he be the part of the room and how he can be a participate in the debate. So everything is mentioned in the description. You just have to use the email ID that is there. And if in case you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell icon. So, without further ado, let us quickly begin with for the motion. Should religious teachings be a part of academic curriculum? Remember, this is religious teachings. So, our first participant is Bhumika Rampuria. She is from Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vihar, Indore, MP. Bhumika, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you begin, darling?
Yes,
So the
sure.
floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon and Sairam to all the honorable judges, teachers, students, and the event organizers. I'm Bhumika Rampuria from Sri Satyasai Vidya Vihar Indore, studying in class 12, and I will speak for the motion. I'm in a crucial year of my life. It has not just been unnerving to stay safe from COVID, but also challenging to remain mentally sound and physically fit. This is the year which requires all my strength to clear the boards with flying colors, for which I need inner guidance and mental peace. We turn to God at such times. But for me, I had to simply turn to the values and spiritual teachings of my schools. Ladies and gentlemen, young boys and girls, I am so proud to be a Satyasai student who has grown up with the teachings like love all and so on. And that the grace of God is like insurance. It will help you in your time of need without any limit. I found solace in all these teachings. They've strengthened and shaped my character. The point that I'm trying to bring here is that with a spiritual base to my education, I have been able to stay balanced and cheerful all these days. Stress, negativity, jealousy, and ego are rampant and are found everywhere. How does one cope with it? Religion helps us to lead a fruitful and a positive life. By replacing anxiety towards religion with a thoughtful strategy of promoting students' religious literacy, we should take a step towards building a more peaceful world. To make my worthy opponents understand my point, let me take an example. The Bhagavad Gita is a philosophy for the whole world. It teaches us the way of life. It teaches everyone the importance of action, knowledge, and devotion. It was a prime source of inspiration for Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Lord Warren Hastings, Sunita Williams, Annie Besant, and many such great personalities who have left a deep mark in the society. My dear friends, if we as students are to function as globally competent citizens, we need to realize religion's profound impact on history, politics, society, and culture. We should know the basic principles of each and every religion and recognize the diversity that exists between each belief system. My dear friends in the opposition, please note that in 2017, around 40% of the New Zealand state primary schools carried out religion education classes. In Finland, religious education is a mandatory subject for both the primary and the secondary schools, which is truly an example for others to follow. India is a land of divinity. From Swami Vivekanand to Swami Prabhupada, Ram Krishna Paramhans to Osho, from Buddha to Dalai Lama, India has listened to such eternal personalities speaking on the topics about economics, non-violence, self-reliance, and charity as symbols to healthy human society. To understand whether we want to believe in God or not, we need to at least read about it first. To know whether we wish to follow a religion or not, we need at least a teacher to explain it to us, so that as we grow older, we believe in a faith of our choice. And if we are taught different aspects of every religion, then situations like conversion and massacres will not happen. Why should the word religion be taken as a crime when it is only a means to reach the universal God and make one society, that is, of humanity? When the religious teachings, moral lessons, and stories are taught in schools and colleges, we believe that all faith has the same language. As Satya Sai Baba had said, the end of education is character. The sole purpose of all these teachings should be to build strong characters in the society. To quote the Holy Quran, make your character good for the people. Or the Bhagavad Gita, character is core to effective leadership. Or even the Bible, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his way. And even the holy book of Zendavesta says, make thy own self pure, O righteous man. Anyone in the world here can win purity for his own self with a good character. Today, the world needs individuals who are sensitized towards the poor, the society, and the environment, and not the people who are just driven by self interests. Now, the time has come to incorporate religious studies into our academics so that we create real humans and not robots. So, friends, I'd like to end with a quote from Albert Einstein. Religion without science is lame, and science without religion is blind, and therefore both should go hand in hand. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very thought-provoking viewpoints. Omega, nice. So I'll now open the floor for interjection. Does anybody have any interjection for Bhumika? Uh, Tarushi, Tanisha, Arsalan, Pari, Honhar, Mariam. Any
Yes,
interjection?
sir.
Tarushi, you have an interjection?
Yes, sir.
All right, go on.
Bhumika, in your speech, you gave the examples of countries like Finland. Do you think that it is ideal to compare those countries to India since our country suffers from a lack of funds? And shouldn't we utilize those funds in education, like education of doctors or engineers, especially doctors who have helped us overcome this pandemic? Don't you think that would be a more feasible idea to utilize our educational resources rather than investing on religious education?
Thank you for your question. Here we're not talking about different countries, we're talking about the whole world. The whole world is becoming materialistic, and if we'll only spend, there are many doctors and there will be many doctors. But then, if we only continue to spend on, for example, you said as doctors, then how will it benefit the world as humanity? We need to create real humans. So, if we spend on religious education, the children it will open up their minds. They'll be able to accept other religions. They'll be able to respect other religions, which is equally important as doctors, I think.
Can I cross question?
Have I answered your question?
Yeah, only one cross questioning is allowed. So, Tarushi?
Yes, sir. So, in your opinion, spending on education as well as religious education is equally important. And you just stated that if we produce doctors, it is not possible as a for a global level at a humanitarian level to produce good citizens. But if we look at India, we are the youngest population in the world, and since even due to that reason also, India's rank in the number of doctors is 67th. Don't you think even doctors are necessary for human survival rather than religion? How will religion help us overcome this pandemic when doctors have?
Listen, we can't just force people to become doctors. It's all their choice. The point is, if you think that doctors are important in this pandemic, I absolutely agree with you. But then, don't you think India is also a country where the youth fight where there are so many religious fights, where people don't respect each other's religion. So it is equally important that we teach children about religious education, so that all these fights about religions, all these fights about different holy books, they stop and people start equally believing each other, and they at least trust and they at least listen to what other people are saying, what other religion speaks, or what it means. I'm not saying that the doctors or spending on doctors is not important, but it is equally important to spend on other careers also, right? We need humans, we need Indians who could understand each other, who could believe on each other, who could go hand in hand. We can't divide them.
All right, wonderful. So I hope that answers your question,
Yes,
Tarshi.
sir.
Even though it was it was a bit something else, but anyway. So moving forward, next we have with us is Pari Chauhan from Bluebells Public School. Pari,
Yes, sir. Can I begin?
yeah, Pari. But before you begin, I would just like to ask the educators if they can drop in the score in the WhatsApp group that we've created. So you can drop in the scores of every individual based on their parameters that were provided. So yeah, and Pari, over to you now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Pari Chauhan, student of Bluebells Public School, Class 11, would like to express my opinion on the topic: should religious education be a part of the academic curriculum? I'd be speaking for the motion. Leonardo da Vinci once quoted, "To develop a complete mind, study the art of sciences, study the sciences of art. Realize that everything connects to everything else. Learn how to see." Religion in education often gets ridiculed. Desperances argue that it has no place in schools because it isn't neutral, because it isn't free from bigotry, radicalism, or even illiberalism. Faith and religious knowledge are unrelated to everyday life, so they claim. In their words, in a cosmopolitan and a heterogeneous society like ours, which we have today, religion only engenders obliviousness and a lot of exclusions. But my worthy comrades, let me stop you there. On the contrary, I believe religious education is much more needed at this moment than it has perhaps ever been. Well, I'd leave it to the theologians and the religious leaders to decide whether God cares about the ignorance of the worshippers or not. But we personally are very interested to know the political, social, personal, and the global insinuations of this ignorance, which begins right in the childhood. Religion has been an influential feature since times immemorial. Our history has been the witness that religion and its perspectives, its ideas, and the events that have happened have definitely shaped the world into what it is today. Recently, the religious ignorance has been on its peak and it has seen a very sharp rise. It seems obvious that this ignorance just brought about intolerance and nothing else. The fewer the people know about the other religions, the more likely they are to blithely just consider the superiority of their own. If the students can be taught that they are a part of a global, they are a part of a secular and a diverse world, so can they be educated that why, how, and in what way is it diverse and secular? Let me tell you something. Treat others the way you would like to be treated yourself. This is a golden rule which spans from religions all across the world. That is Confucianism, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Taoism, Judaism, all the religions. Moving ahead, no one of you is a believer until he desires for his brother which he desires for himself. So says the Islamic Sunnah. This is the sum of the duty. Do not unto others what you would not want them to do unto you, says the Hindu Mahabharata. Take therefore no thought of tomorrow. Shall the tomorrow thought of things for itself? Sufficient for the day is the evil thereof. Quoted by Lord Jesus. My dear friends, I believe exposure to such and the understanding of such deep philosophies will only make the human mind as we call it, the era of globalization requires the students to function as globally competent citizens in their future. And the sole key to global competence is a well rounded education. Students need to comprehend the religious profound impact on history, politics, society, and even culture. Knowledge of religious facts and principles and the acquaintance to the diversity that exists between the different belief systems across time and place will only increase the knowledge base of the students and giving them an opportunity to learn about how the world and the society functions essentially in a better way. Often, when the idea of kids dealing with topics like these, which are very sensitive and very crucial, the common reaction is, oh, the kids are too immature. But, my dear friends, the earlier the kids start learning about the world in a more realistic manner, the more mature and reflective they will be as adults. After all, we cannot shield them from thinking. Also, the rise of crimes at educational settings, workplaces, and even social settings has been on a rise due to religious intolerance, which is essentially because of the religious misinformation and lack of knowledge amongst people. If teaching about John buying 250 watermelons at once, or about a dormant volcano on a distant island, or even about the order of monarchs of a country is crucial for the academic curriculum, then I believe so is the real world issue about religion, which is considered to be so deep rooted today. Also, education is not just about intellect, it is also about the morals, it is also about the values. The extraordinary real world impact of religion is that moral conduct and character expression is the best out of it. Therefore, religion should become an important part of the education in every student's life because the values and the ethics which a child can learn due to the religious education is something that cannot be found anywhere else. For example, if Bhagavad Gita can be used as a textual content for teaching philosophy in great universities across the world from huge countries, then so can they be used by humongously progressive countries like ours. Last but not the least, dharma. It is a key concept with beautiful and multiple meanings across all the religions. It is the essence of human sustenance. Life without dharma is like life akin to something without oxygen, or that is actually as good as dead. Religion and dharma, I agree, are two very different topics. But towards the end, towards the crux of every religion, is the principle of life. That is the dharma ultimately. In absence of religious knowledge will bloom adharma. The wisdom will witness darkness. The humankind will witness the dark of ignorance. Now, my worthy fellows, you have to decide. You need education being dispelled in the doom of adharma, or the education being imparted in the gleam of well-rounded and dharma-bounded societies. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Pari. Lovely thoughts, and yeah, beautiful annotations and everything. So now I'll open the floor for interjection. Does any would anybody like to interject? Adi, I guess, wants to interject. Adi,
Am I audible?
yeah, you are.
So, in your speech, you said that along with religion, you can teach character values and moral values, something along those lines, right? So, I just want to ask that religion isn't necessary for teaching character and moral values. So, like, why do you need religion for that?
Wonderful question.
Thank you for the question. I believe this question arises due to the fear of retribution and the repetitions we will have after we start teaching religion in schools. That is where it arises from. So, to essentially answer your question, I would say that religion is a very wide based topic. There are a lot of religions all around the world. So, studying these religions will essentially open doors to a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas for children. They will be exposed to many new things and they will learn open mindedness, they will learn tolerability, and they will learn so much more which they could not learn inside the four walls of the classroom or the few pages of the textbook. This is something very deep, something very huge that will give them an opportunity to learn something on a very substantial level.
All right.
And after
So,
all, religion has been something very deep rooted for
Pari,
our
you
society
have to
since
keep in mind,
ages.
Pari, you have to keep in mind that you only have 7 minutes, including the interjection and the cross questioning, which I presume you are exceeding as of now. So
Noted, I have answered the question.
I won't be able to take a cross questioning, and so my next contestant is Bhumika Rampuria, but I guess Bhumika was done. Yeah, I'm so sorry. So Bhumika has already been done. My next contestant is Honhar Jain. Honhar, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, buddy, you are audible. There you are.
Yes.
So hi Honhar, the stage
Hi,
is all
sir.
yours. Please take it away.
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon to all respected judges, my dear friends, and all netizens. I, Honharjan of Class 11, Doon Public School, is going to speak on the topic for the motion that religious education should be part of our academic curriculum. It should be part of our academic curriculum because religion is a very positive subject. It provides students with moral and ethical values which will lead to develop good values in them. Religious education is good for character development because it conveys positive messages like hatred cannot be seized by hatred but only by love. Many people think that religion has potential to divide the society. But I think no, it can't divide society at all. It can divide only in the case if it is not understood properly. By introducing religious education in our academic curriculum, students not only get the chance to develop their academic skills, but also their humanistic advantages. On June 12, the National Council of Social Studies in United States set the guidelines that how the religion should be taught in schools. It means that even NCSS recognizes the importance of religious education as a part of social studies curriculum. The NCSS press release states that these guidelines encourages student awareness of religions but not acceptance of a particular religion, exposing students to a diversity of views but not imposing a particular view. It should be an academic inquiry rather than a devotional study, studying about religion but not practicing a religion. I would like to give you another example of Jack Fitzmyer, the executive director of academic religion, American Academic Religion, notices that there is a rise in religious misunderstanding accompanying global migration, world conflicts, and religious identity politics. It all states that there is a need to a renewed focus on religious education. Richard Dawkins of United Kingdom, once answering to a question that should religious education be part of our schools, he said that yes, it's an important part of our culture to read about our holy books. He notices that many English literature is dominated by disputes of rival religions. He said that you can't understand history if you don't know about a religion. Religion is something which tells you about the principles and mysteries of life. It tells you about that what being human is. It tells you about the world and it tells you that why the humans are here. Nowadays, parents don't have time to teach their children about their religious practices at home. So, for those students, school would be the best place to learn about their religion as well as other religions so that students can accept the beliefs and faiths of other religions as well. Professor Amar of Seton University said that there is a great learning in Bhagavad Gita for those who are connected with management. It means it would be a great chance for a young India to learn all these things at a very young level, and our India will be producing future leaders. These future leaders, with their innovative ideas and their leadership skills, will develop their startups and the companies which will lead to economic growth in our country. The ways in which religious education can be part of our academic curriculum are there should be prescribed textbooks, and those textbooks neither promote nor oppose any particular religious practices. The lesson taught in school should be religiously neutral and secular. Great care can be taken that minority and majority religion should be focused equally. Minority religion should not feel inferiority complex. The teachers should have accurate information about every religion, otherwise it will lead to create disputes in classes. The holy book taught in schools should be taught as a part of literature but not as a religious doctrine. By all implementing these ways, we can achieve a goal of religious education as our academic curriculum. By all these students can get to know about that religion is realization, not doctrine, not
I guess there is some technical error in. I guess the internet is not stable or something. So not a problem. I I can give. Uh, Let me just quickly see it one more time. Honhar, are you there? Honhar, I guess he's unavailable. No problem. We'll move forward. He though had some very good points that not every it shouldn't be about one religion or single religion particularly, but since it's about we're talking about religious teachings, by the way. Honhar, are you back? Okay, no, Honar is not here. All right. So let's quickly move on to the next contestant. He's from Dev Samaj Modern School. His name is Mohammad Arsalan. Arsalan, 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 where are you?
Yes, sir.
I cannot see you, buddy. Can you please begin?
Hello.
Yeah, Arsalan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please begin. It's your turn.
Am I audible?
Yeah. There you are.
Yeah.
You're audible.
So, when our ears are exposed to the term religion, it sparks the feeling of being too shy to discuss about it or being reluctant to defend one's own, no matter whatever it takes. For I and every one of us must have been the witness of an now common condition where religion is not talked about, rather, it is hotly debated on news channels with an understated rage, be it the general public, officials, or religious upholders debating on TV shows. I came across this very wise statement by Caesar Pavis, an Italian novelist, saying, religion is the belief where everything that is happening to us is very important and it shall exist always. A very good afternoon to all the honored judges, my very wise and learned opponents, and my fellow mates. I, Urslan Zakir of Class 11, feel honored to have this opportunity to present my views on the topic should religious teaching be be a part of academic curriculum, and I will speak for the motion. I stand agreed that I stand agreed that religion as a subject is very vital as it will certainly contribute to the scholastic and holistic development and character growth of a student. Let me make myself clear here that by holistic development and character growth, it indicates being not being passive sponges and absorbing everything that has been taught, but being filters and accepting what to and deciding what to accept and what to contradict. Being shy away and putting this subject under the rug won't do any help in opening our minds to the plausible and prudent aspects the religious testimonies have to offer. I believe my wise opponent will certainly present how religion as a part of academic curriculum is a bad decision. But let me put myself and my opinion as a student. If if he is aware of his own and each other's religion, it is bound to increase the feeling of secularism. And I believe that when the teaching of a young mind is when the seeds of teaching a young mind are sown, encompassing religious preachings will certainly help in substituting what we say discrimination and ignorance and prejudice with increased tolerance, acceptance, and empathy towards others. As a child to till this date, we have been heard people saying that all religions teach the same, but acted at the institutional level, it will certainly strengthen our belief that at the foundation we all are the same. As by knowing all the different religions, the student will understand each other's background and history. And if we have the knowledge of where one comes from, the it will help in creating a better perspective, and which in turn will help to celebrate a rich diversity. I believe my wise opponent will be well aware of the religiously motivated hate crimes are on the rise, and I believe that if we all know the basic principle of each and every religion, these crimes will certainly see a downfall. So I'll summarize in a nutshell, including religion as a academic curriculum will create a neutral ideology for the student. And let me explain this with an example. Where are we teach about our religion? Mostly in our homes, right? So, which is only bound to only one religion. But at the scholastic level, the child would see a wide diversity of religions. In his home, he would see only one religion being preached, and he will adopt those preachings that his family is practicing. But at the scholastic level, he will see a wide diversity and will surely adopt morals and will respect those who preach them. So I would like to conclude by saying this quote: a knowledge with the combination of both the world and divinity will certainly make the mankind be on the path to be truly awakened. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arsalan. Now I will open the door for an interjection. If anybody has any objection, they can please raise their hand. No interjection from anyone? That's surprising. All right, no problem. Moving forward. Now, let's go on to the other side of the coin, that is against the motion. And
Sir?
होनहार, ये मुझे पक्का पता है, this would be होनहार. या होनहार?
Yes, sir. Sir, can I share my balanced views?
Balanced views are so views are
Sir,
balanced.
please, sir, my net got disconnected.
That's why I always said it in the test run that we make very sure that it doesn't happen. I have a time limit and I'm constrained by the time limit. I'm so sorry.
Sir, just 2 minutes.
Sorry, buddy, can't allow.
Sir,
Literally, I won't be
please,
able
sir.
to. I
Please.
won't be able to. I'm not your teacher, buddy. ये एग्जाम नहीं चल रहा कि स्पीच सर 2 मिनट लिखने दो मेरे को. I'm so
Sir,
sorry.
my net got disconnected.
And I have a channel going on and it is going live, so please be civilized. I cannot allow. I understand your net got disconnected, but that's why we had multiple test runs, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Ashita,
Sir, I'm also there for the mission.
I can't even hear you. Ashita,
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you. Can you be a bit louder?
Sir, can you please wait for a few minutes? There is some audio issue.
15 minutes.
Oh, sir, for a few minutes.
Oh God. Okay, so while you fix
Okay,
your,
I am audible now or not, sir?
I can't hear you properly because this will not go on YouTube. So what I'll do is, meanwhile you fix your audio. Honhar, you got lucky, I guess. Honhar,
Yes, sir.
all right. Let's hear your views, which are balanced according to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
So
right.
might be my net got disconnected
It's
from
okay.
Professor Amar.
Listen, you want your
Yes, sir.
views to be expressed, or why you goofed up?
Sir, what's the pardon?
You want your views to be put across, or you're goofing up to be put across? Share your
No,
views.
sir.
It's okay.
I'm just putting my balanced views.
Yeah. Go on.
Yes, sir. So Professor Amar of Sitan University said that there is a great learning in Bhagavad Gita for those who are connected with management. So it would be a great chance for a young India to learn all those things at a very young age. And our India will be producing the future leaders. These future leaders, with their innovative ideas and leadership skills, will start their own companies and their startups, and it would ultimately lead to economic growth of our country. The ways in which religious education can be part of our academic curriculum are: there should be prescribed textbooks, and these textbooks neither promote nor oppose any particular religious practice. Teachers should have accurate information about every religion, otherwise, it will lead to create disputes in classes. The holy book taught in school should be taught as a part of literature, not as a religious doctrine. Great care can be taken on minority as well as majority religion. The lesson taught in class should be religiously neutral and secular. By implementing all these ways, we will easily achieve our aim of getting religious education in our academic curriculum. By all this, students can get to know about that religion is realization, not talk, nor doctrine, nor any set of rules or principles. At last, I would like to conclude is that the essence of all religion is same, but it depends on us that how do we approach it. Thank you all for hearing me.
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much, Honhar, for
Sir,
your.
now you can hear me?
It's okay, Ashita. Just wait, just wait. I still have an interjection for you because if Honhar is doing it, let's do it properly. So, would anybody like to interject? Tanisha or Mariam, Adi, Sparsh? Jesus. All right, no problem, Honhar. Lagta hai you got saved. So, Ashita, are you there? Ashita,
Yes, sir, I'm there.
can you please go on, begin?
Yes, sir, I can begin.
Yeah,
Sir, am I audible properly?
yeah, you are now. Let's begin.
Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian. Muhammad was not a Muslim. They were teachers who taught love. Love was their religion. Humanity is my religion. Arthian is my nationality. You don't need religion to have morals if you can't decide what is right from wrong. Humanity from inhuman acts, then you lack empathy. Religion does not stand out to be a reason. Hello, everybody. I'm Ashita and I'm here to begin. And the topic under fire is: should religion be a part of a school curriculum? And I vehemently support the idea of religious teaching to be a part of school curriculum. For the benefit of chair, worthy opponents, and my dear August secondaries, I would like to define religion. Religion is an action or conduct that shows obedience towards something that is sacred, reverence for God, right for moral obligations, and sanctity. I believe that the first religion of human is humanity, second is equality, and third is lovability. What do you understand by religious teaching? Religion. Just a study of particular religion? No, not at all. Religion means dharma. Dharma signifies something that you want to adopt or is deserved to be adopted. So ultimately, religious teaching is what you want to study to inherit in your own life. We need to understand the difference between religions and religious practices. Every religion has the same golden rule philosophy line that led emphasis on unification, humanitarian, non-violence, non-communal and brutal acts, and productive activities. The principle that make a man different from animal is what religious philosophy teaches us and help us in accomplishing goodness in life. Religious practices have evolved over passage of time, due to which people were separated from a strand of thread, due to which some stepped back, some reached so far. To make a rock plate on plate, we need to read, realize, revamp, and renovate the true meaning of religious philosophy in order to bind everyone together as a bird of feather flock. Henceforth, we need to understand and comprehend religion in a true sense, and for that, we need to read it, know it, and analyze it. Subsequently, until and unless we adopt religious teaching in our school, we won't be able to spread general awareness among the public out there. So religious teaching prosper and approves hope for heading towards a better forthcoming. People say that there are a lot more things to discover, analyze, and interpret about artificial intelligence, science, and nanotechnology. But have you ever imagined a world without humanity and simultaneously science without humanity is treacherous and patchy? We all know. So, my dear friends, religion is the foundation stone of humanity. To last forever humanity, we can't ignore religious perspective on a positive ground. To bind them in our formalism and to give mankind base to all these things, we need to read and revitalize the religious teaching in our school curriculum again to not let man drain in the sea of science and technology, and by not letting them become shrewd by disregarding or outlooking any religious perspective. The inhuman acts happening around in the name of religion is just due to misinterpretation, misconception, and misguidance of religious philosophy. So the need of time is to teach the right, non-biased religious teaching to the children and people out there, so that it is believed that if a right seed is sown in a child, it gives birth to a conceptual start and a compassionate start in the course of time. So it's high time to teach a true essence of religion so that it does not go in the hand of so-called godmen who are misinterpreting the meaning of religion for just profit maximization. There is need of exhibiting religious teaching in the school curriculum for betterment of a child development, to instill good values and moral ethics in them, and it will help them in good personality building with the messages like love thy as never thou is. Hearted does not cheese by hearted but by love. And we all know that this is the eternal rule and truth. It will help them to ignore the division of prejudice and many other discrimination happening in this multi-faith society. It will help them and encourage them to build up their mind to accept and respect other religion, faith, philosophy, and teachings. It will teach them a new way of tolerance and teach them how to think upon that what they believe and what they don't. To understand betterly to the world around. We need to exhibit it for the people's development. Around 21% of the people have no religion, but religion is very important in this multicultural world for the people to be interconnected with one another. I remember once Acharya Prashant said that a human beast is born from a mother's womb, but is transcended into human being through religion. We are always ready for pickup fights on trivial issues, but religion has put a stake on it and through its code and conduct. Have you ever seen love? Do you know from where love comes from? Have you ever seen it in animal and android world? No. It's humanity. And as I stated earlier, it comes from religion. Religion is the foundation stone of it. Remember, my dear friends, and mind my word, religion, not religion, is going to help on a long run to the society at large because we all are the child of one superpower. At last, I want to conclude by saying we need to save our closeness to the religion in order to be who we are, how we are, and what we will be. Thank you for being a patient listener. I would like to pause my words but not to my thoughts.
All right. So now I'll open the floor for interjection. Would anybody like to interject? I have two interjections. One is from Tanisha. Tanisha.
Sir, am I clearly audible and visible?
Oh yeah, there you are, Tanisha. Yeah, go on.
Okay. First of all, good evening, everyone. So, Ashita Di, you have talked about misconceptions, prejudices, intolerance, and all. But the way you have talked about this assumes that children are taught about all the religion if in religious education is introduced in schools. But is this possible to teach about all the religions in schools and also in a heterogeneous society like India, where people belonging to different faiths reside? It is not possible to teach them about each and every religion, and it is also possible that the religious teacher may have only may have great knowledge only about their own religion. So, what is your? How would you like to comment on this?
Thank you for the question. My dear friend Tanisha, as I said, that religious teaching should be included in the school curriculum. For by that means, I want to say that we have some values, so we have inherited from our parents, and they have also read it somewhere, or they have inherited from their parents. So, like religion play a very important role in establishing a moral conduct in a person's life. And as I stated that like we can inherit religious teaching in our school curriculum by like value based question which is asked in the exams, and you can take just an example like Munshi Premchand, who has learned who has written a story of Irdga and Kaki, and both talk about the different religion. So we can teach the students two religion at least for the comparison and making a contrast and clearing their mind that every religion is same. Every religion's philosophy is same. Just we are the human who are making difference in it. So that's why I'm saying that the extremists and the godmen who are misguiding the name of religion, we have to understand their true religious teaching and we have to take it in a positive.
Right. Okay, I guess we have another person with the internet issue. All right, no problem. Before I go on to the other side and we'll explore the against the motion category, I just want to give a quick shout out to Ramneek Kaur, Kavita Bensla, and then Sambodhi Gautam for sharing lovely views. As you, I have been noticing that you guys are, commenting regularly, and then Yasmin is there, and then Krishiv is there. So Jogender Singh, as usual, has again joined us. So lovely view from the audience as well. So now let's explore against the motion category, and for from against the motion, the first contestant is Adi Deshmukh. Adi,
Am I audible?
yes, Adi, you're loud and clear. Please go
Okay.
on.
Good afternoon and
Ashrita, I have moved on.
Yes,
Your internet had a problem. Could you repeat, Ashrita?
sir, I have completed my answer.
All right, Ashita, no problem. I'm pretty sure the judges have noted it down and everything. So,
thank you, sir.
Adi, over to you.
Good afternoon and Sai Ram, respected judges, teachers, friends, and the event organizers. My name is Adi Deshmukh and I am from Sri Satyasai Vidya Vihar Indore, studying in class 11, and I'll be speaking against the topic. Religion, like it or not, is taking over the world. It's laying siege on mind, body, and soul. Its roots are seeping into marriage with love jihad. What was once meant to be a union between two people who promised to love and support each other is now turning into a way to further an ideology. Good deeds like helping the disadvantaged are also becoming fronts for again furthering an ideology. Who knows? Maybe people will come up with ways to bias the academic curriculum and gain even more followers. And here I thought religion was something to bring peace to the mind, and it didn't matter whether one person followed it or millions. A teacher in France decided to show his students cartoons. In good faith, of course. He just wanted to teach them freedom of expression. He didn't mean to offend anyone, and yet still, he lost his life. Bring religion to academics, and if you honestly think that the only thing that the year is going to be like another year of math, you're extremely wrong. Why? Religion is a very touchy subject. Say one wrong thing and you might end up offending people, and if some of them turn out to be a little too devoted, then it's your life on the line. Subjects like math and science are neutral subjects. The most you could offend someone is by subtracting instead of adding, or saying that the mitochondria is not the powerhouse of the cell. But say in a religious class, a teacher says something wrong, a student gets offended, the parents get offended, and it turns into a huge disaster. You would need to have top of the line students and have enough faith in the students, especially the seniors, to know that they won't take anything to heart, as in case of the teacher. And it is difficult to put your trust into the capabilities of the people handling such matters. In one line, religious classes have a high potential to cause so much more than just educating a class of students. When knowledge is imparted, it rises above all religions. The individual who is in pursuit of academic excellence is indifferent to religion. For this person, the learning, the science, the principles, the literature, and even sports hold a greater value than any religious teachings. Karl Marx, the writer of Das Kapital, a treatise on communism, believed that religion is the opium of life. I would like to ask my worthy opponents if Marie Curie was a Parsi or if C.V. Raman was a Muslim, would it have any effect on the discoveries they made? They and so many people like them have risen above the prosaic world of religion to achieve something great for humanity. How will religious teachings help in academics? I still wonder, will it not further break the society, create violence, abuse, and constant word battles in trying to prove whose religion is better? Instilling religion in the minds of children will inevitably create a bias if not taught properly, and there are too many religious beliefs, including atheism, to be able to do that. Besides, children are unmindful of the religion their family follows. For them, festivals are a time of enjoyment and eating good food and being with friends. If we try to teach them the tenets of Hinduism and Christianity and Islam, then they're not going to understand much and they're going to lose interest in the word religion itself. Somewhere, children might feel like their own belief system is under attack. Some might form strong opinions, and others might end up getting bullied, causing the society to become even more polarized. Do we want another reason for our society to break into fragments? Do we want another reason to fight with one another and not live in harmony? My friends, the way fundamentalism and fanaticism is taking roots in our society, religion is no longer a unifying doctrine. Instead, it's become a dividing force for a few selfish interests. Some might say that teaching religion will teach children to be open minded and respect others' religion. And to that, I say absolute nonsense. If schools just focus on teaching proper moral values like being respectful, being open minded, understanding others, being kind, being compassionate, the world will be fine. The ironic thing is that the people who do follow these religions that preach these exact same values use it as a smokescreen for their own personal and twisted goals. And then some do the most horrid things and supposedly perform cleansing rituals. So, really, when it comes to religion, there's no guarantee everyone will respect everyone and that they'll follow the guidelines put down by their own religion. Finally, the academic curriculum should stay academic, based on facts and logics, based on facts and logic, and the ones that do not hinder the mind's ability to be rational. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you so much, Adi. Wonderful points, and absolutely, academics should really remain as academics. So now I'll open the floor for an interjection. If anybody has anything to, you know, okay, Pari, I have Pari with us. So Pari, please go on.
Thanks for the opportunity to ask the question, sir. So,
No.
Adi, I would like to ask you a question as you quoted in your speech that we can not teach the students about the various religious practices like cleansing and along these lines you quoted something. So, don't you think that there is a difference between teaching religious practices and teaching the base, the crux of religion? What essentially we try to deliver here is the values that we need to pick up from this and not the religious practices actually.
Thank you for your question. when I said we need to, there are too many religious beliefs. Like every religion embodies different kinds of values, right? So if you like teach three religions and there's like a fourth religion with some other value, the kids aren't going to be able to know about it. And it's not just religion. Then you have atheism. You have people who believe in God but not in religion. So you need to cover everything so that the students have a completely unbiased and full view of all the kinds of values they could, get with so that they can make their own decisions. Thank you.
So is it still time to cross question?
Yeah, you can, you can.
So 14 years of schooling is what an Indian student ideally gets. So 14 years is a long span of time here. So don't you think that along this huge time we can definitely learn a lot about maybe not the deeper things, but we can obviously learn the basic things which we definitely should know to avoid the clash of misinformation, misguidance in the society, which is happening every so often, every day.
Um, I com- I completely agree with your point of misinformation and clashes happening because of misinformation. And so I want to bring in another point that if we did decide to teach religion, right, we have 14 years, we have tons of time, but then we're going to need teachers who teach, things about religion. And they need to be trained pretty properly so that they can make sure that the information they're giving is completely unbiased and they have proper information. Who's going to train those people? Where are you going to get the resources to train those teachers? And our teachers are already completely overworked. Where are you going to get new teachers from? So in teaching religion, it's this whole big map that you have to figure out. And it's not just, okay, we want to teach religion, so we're going to get a we're going to get a teacher and we're going to teach religion.
All right. Thank you so much, Adi. I hope, Pari, that answers your question. So next we have is Tarushi Kalra. Tarushi,
Yes, sir.
she's
Sir, am I
from,
audible?
yeah, darling, you are. All right, go on.
Yes, sir. Bear बढ़ाते मंदिर मस्जिद मेल कराती मधुशाला. Well quoted by none other than the renowned poet Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji. A very good evening to one and all. I am Tarushi, and today I am here to speak against the motion. It is very hard to believe that France, one of the most advanced and developed nations in the world, tried to bring religion into the classroom by showing the students caricatures of Paigambar Sahib. What followed was that the teacher was slain in the same school and led to
Jasus.
riots and violence
Jasus.
all across France. Of all the religions present in the world,
Jesus
the
Jasus.
only religion capable of purity is the religion of liberty. Religion is a sense of inner belonging to a set of values. One might choose to follow any religion that pleases him or her the best, or for that matter, one might choose to be an atheist or non religious. In short, religion is a personal choice. It cannot be imposed or enforced on any individual. In my opinion, religious education should not be a part of school curriculum. Why? Because it is contrary to the views of modern society that promote tolerance and secularism. I believe that religion is a visceral experience. When we try to broadcast it outside our headspace, we become vulnerable. And this does not boost self confidence. On the other hand, it leads to enmity as well as disagreement among individuals who are still in their adolescence, a period of intense confusion. What is the guarantee that we will be able to eradicate the personal prejudice that a teacher might hold against one or the other religion? And that is where the problem lies. What we want is that students should learn acceptance, not intolerance. What we want is that aspects like religion are considered secondary by the students, not primary. It is impossible to teach religion in its real sense in the classroom because most of the religious texts have been written in extremely difficult languages like Sanskrit or Arabic, which are not only hard to comprehend but have also gone through extensive evolution. I would like to ask this very openly in this highly intellectual discussion. Is there a single individual who knows all these languages fluently and can interpret this religious text? Highly unlikely. Teaching religion requires interpretation, and these topics are extremely sensitive. They can be misinterpreted very easily. Teaching religion practically in a heterogeneous classroom is an impossible task. Imagine a teacher who is a Hindu, but a class is full of diverse students practicing several religions like Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Hinduism, etc. What if the teacher, due to a personal bias, takes up classes for his own religion or gives priority to his own religion? This will not only offend the students but also force their parents to complain because they will feel that the teacher is ignoring the other religions and propagating just one. Many would argue that religion is a good way to teach children about moral values and ethics. To those, I would like to say, yes, it is true that all religions teach about moral values and ethics, but religion also teaches children to accept bad explanations. Let me elaborate this with an example. In our daily life, we see parents telling their children, don't lie because it will upset God. Although being honest is a virtue and should be had by everyone. But what the parents should be telling to the children is that don't lie because society will not function if everybody started lying. This, this seems to be a harmless example. However, it can have severe consequences in aspects like, for say, accepting one's sexual orientation, which is considered to be a sin in many religions. This can evoke a sense of alienation at home, and if religion is taught at school, then at school as well. It can lead to bullying among children. And this is what causes the problem. Because schools are places that are supposed to be free of judgments and not places which increase the insecurities of children. Countries like Azerbaijan and Armenia have fought over religion. Even in our country, the case of Babri Masjid has led to riots and intense controversy. By stating these examples, I in no way tend to criticize any particular religion. What I'm trying to emphasize is that at an age where children do not understand the difference between right and wrong, it will be impossible for them to get the context in which these holy books have been written. Answering the question about teaching moral values and ethics, that can be done in several other ways instead of teaching about religion. We can do that by teaching children humility, humanity, respecting people, working for society, being honest, and being good human beings. It will be a Herculean task for the teachers to identify and classify the topics that should be taught and the topics which should be omitted. It will also serve as a burden for the students who already study so many subjects already. A significant question which remains unanswered in this entire discussion
Tarushi?
is yes, sir.
5 minutes 50 seconds.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm just about
Try
to
to
end.
conclude it because you will not have time for interjection otherwise.
Yes, sir. It's the question about the people who do not wish to follow any particular religion. Is it justified to ignore the interests of one individual so the rest of society can do whatever it wishes to? No, it is not. This is not what modern society stands for. At last, I would like to conclude by saying, in most developed countries, religion is separate from education, and there is a reason behind it. This is a balanced decision of a civilized society which understands that if we bring religion into the classroom, then we bring nothing other than prejudice into the classroom. Thank you. I rest my case.
Thank you, Terushi. Wonderful points. But as I told you, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. You're not left with any time for interjection. So I'll move forward to the next contestant. Next we have is Sparsh Sharma. He's from Doon Public School, Hyderabad, UP. Sorry. Sparsh?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, there you are. You're looking dapper, boy. Good job. All right, go on, Sparsh.
Hello, everyone. This is Sparsh Sharma, a ninth grader from Doon Public School. As you all know that why we all are gathered here in this webinar, and many of you has represented your views in this sensitive topic. And yes, me too is going to represent my views on this sensitive topic that religious teaching should be a part of academic curriculum or not. So I will be in against of the motion. So I'm starting my statement from religion is religion is a set of rules which convey a human being. On the other hand, our education system purpose is that to undefine the to undefine the potential. So don't you think isn't it controversy? India is a diverse and secular. India is a diverse and secular country in which different religions are followed, including the Hinduism, the Muslims, and the Christianity and Buddhism and Jainism. So it is not possible that every child can go to a particular school which follow their religion only. It's not even possible, and it is also not possible that every school is following all the religions. Suppose it become possible, then don't you think that the course of religion will be greater than the main course of a class? And it will be very difficult to complete the course in a year only. And if it become possible, then children will have negative thinking for the other religious child. Children will think very bad for the other religion child. Don't you think that it is very bad? The fact will be very bad for and the future of India will be in danger. So what is the solution? The solution is that we should stop religious teaching in the schools. Basically, before 13 years of age, a child is not that much mature to understand all the religions. And how do you believe that a 6th or below class level student can have religious teachings in their curriculum? Don't you think that these topics can make them serious? These topics can make them confused. On the other hand, they should still having fun in this age. Did you think about those who didn't believe in any religion? What if the school will start religious teaching? What will they will do in that class? Will they be out of class? No. Then what? The students will be quite sleeping in the class because the session is very boring for them. What they will do? Now the solution is that stop religious teaching in classes. The thing is that we are diverse actually. We are living in the same country together. You can't deny this fact. And the big problem is that a child who is just 6 year old will get to know that we are different. We are going to treat us different. Our religions are not same. My friends are not same. My friends are different. One is Hindu, one is Muslim. What effect they will get? And on the other hand, this thing happened basically at the age of 18 to 19. Does it make any sense? No, not at all. We all know about Ravan, who is the greatest learner of the time. He know all the Vedas and know about all religion, but still was killed by Ram. You know why? Because he don't know how to choose the right path. He don't know what is good, what is not good. He don't know what to do and what not to do. I'm trying to say that the religion will give you power. The religion will give you power, but not the patience to hold that power. And if you are not having the patience to hold that power, then what is the mean of that power, right? Today's world needs more common sense than the IQ. I want to conclude that I will not deny the religion teaching in the sense of academic only, but studying it from a spiritual sense should not be done in the classrooms, should be done in a person's own time only. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Sparsh, and wonderful work. Any interjection would any from anybody
Yes, sir.
who's interjecting?
Yes, sir.
Ashita,
Yes, sir.
go on, Ashita.
So, first I have a
Can
question
you be a
from
bit louder?
First, I have a question from you. Can you please tell that you talked about terrorism and all, but do people here really think that religion spread terrorism? Can you please tell us the difference between religion and religious teaching? Does religious means really terrorism, spread of terrorism?
So thank you for your question, Ashitadi. Religion is not actual terrorism, but religion is the way to spread the terrorism. The Muslims, the Hindu will fight among each other to tell that my religion is best, my religion is best. I hope you get my point.
By the
My
way,
dear
by the way,
friend, but
no, Akshita, this will get complicated. I will not allow that. By the way, let me tell you one thing. To all the contestants who are going for the motion and against the motion, religion, religious teachings are not about religion. I don't know what you guys didn't get. The topic was, should religious teachings be a part of academic curriculum? Not should religion be part of academic curriculum. I hope when you guys, I don't know what happened to you guys or something, because I've been listening very patiently. So when the judges would be marking you, I hope the judges do keep that in mind. So the topic is, should religious teachings are a lot different from what religion is all about. So make sure that happens. All right. So my next contestant is Mariam. Mariam, are you ready? Oh no, it's Tanisha. Tanisha, sorry.
It's I.
Yeah, Tanisha, I swear it's you. Don't
So,
worry.
can I start?
Yeah, sure, darling. Go on.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Tanisha from Jalim Sunbeam School, and for the next 7 minutes, I'll be putting my 2 cents that why religious education shouldn't be a part of educational curriculum. And most importantly, what can substitute religious education? In ancient times, the education system was mainly concentrated on the establishment of God, hell, and heaven. If truth and justice are followed, God rewards you with heaven. If injustice is done, God punishes you in the hell. But this education system does not apply nowadays. You know why? It is because there could be biasness in the way religion is presented. Religious education can be done at two levels. The first is educating children about a particular religion, and the second is educating children about different religions. Let's take the first case. When we grow up children in a particular religion, we sow the seeds of division and violence. They grow up with their own religious identity and religious boundaries, and where there is a boundary, there is a potential of conflict and violence. Coming on to the second case, when children are given information about different religions, it is necessary to ensure that they are given unfabricated and genuine information, but that too is difficult to achieve. It is because a teacher can also have their own opinions, and it is also possible that the teacher may try to impose their opinions on children. Let me cite you an example of this. We all know about the republication of a cartoon which many of you have mentioned also by the satirical French magazine Charlie Hebdo. We all know what happened subsequently. A 47-year-old teacher, Samuel Paty, was beheaded, and unfortunately, a few days later, three more people were beheaded outside a church in the city of Nice. But my attention was caught by Pakistan. There's a report which I'm sending to you all on the WhatsApp group. You all are requested to check this report. This report reveals that a few days ago, young girls in Pakistan were being taught how to behead a human being. Yes, you heard it right. How to behead a human being. In this report, the teacher is teaching the young girls how to hold and use a scimitar on an effigy to behead the figure. Now the point is that can you all even imagine what would happen if a teacher with such radicalized and extremist mindset enters the class and preaches children? What would happen then? It would do no good to us. In fact, it would exacerbate the situation. But what horrifies me more and what makes me more upset that this is not only the case in Pakistan, in fact, something similar to this is also happening in my own country, India, where the name of religion is being used for inciting people and entrenching communal hatred in the society. A month ago, the authorities of Jammu and Kashmir have booked 3 teachers of a madrasa after some students of that madrasa were found involved in terror-related activities, and later on, 13 students of that madrasa were found working hand in glove with different terrorist organizations. These were just a few examples of the incidents where the name of religion was used for inciting people. And one thing which needs to be noticed, and to my astonishment, is that all of these things were carried out either in schools or in madrasas. I must say one thing, that I am not against religious education at all, but I'm afraid what would happen if such radicalized people are granted the freedom to go and preach children. Also, in a diverse country like India, where people have different faiths, it is not possible to teach children about each and every faith existing in India. And if they are taught about any particular faith, it would violate the secularism of the state. Well, I have one solution for all the problems that I have spoken about in the last few minutes. And the solution is to replace religious education with spiritual education. All children should be brought up as spiritual children of God. And when I speak of spiritual education, I don't mean that church or temple kind of education. Instead, what I mean is to help children understand that they are going to be a lot happier if they are kind to others or if they work for high ideals. If this kind of teaching can be brought in schools, that would be known as a spiritual education. Also, there are some concepts and beliefs which are common to many religions. For example, the law of karma, the concept of establishment of truth and justice, the concept of hell and heaven. I believe, and in my opinion, these concepts should be taught in schools and colleges. It is because of...
Tanisha, 5 minutes up.
Okay, sir. Sir, I'll conclude in 10 seconds. I
Alright.
believe that these concepts should be taught because these won't be affected by the personal biasness of the teacher, and these concepts can't be manipulated. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that a person doesn't need to believe or accept anything that another person teaches or preaches them. It is because ultimately God is their teacher. I rest my case. Thank you.
All right, now the floor is open for interjection. If anybody would like to interject the same.
Yes, sir.
Arsalan, go on.
Sir, Honar.
Tanisha, you mentioned this about the videos sent on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how you can believe this as it is not a known source?
How
It
can you
says
say?
Vivo
Yeah.
News.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it
Beyond is a
yes, yes, yes.
I'll inform you about that. Beyond is a international level channel. Do you know about Z News?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just the English channel of that channel. And do you know Sudhir Chaudhary, a very eminent journalist?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the editor-in-chief of Beyond.
Wait. Do not take names and everything. Be very respectful about all these things. I don't want
Yes,
any
sir.
copyright strikes or anything. Your kids, nothing will happen to you. Something will happen to me. Remember that.
I'm sorry. I apologize, sir.
Don't take names, please. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Arsalan,
And
No, as he was asking about the authenticity of the report, I can assure you that the report is authentic.
And the second thing about the madrasas you said about kids, and
Yeah.
can you please also tell that?
That 13 students of a madrasa in the
Source I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm saying, shall I send that source to you?
no, you're not
Right on
supposed to.
WhatsApp now?
Excuse me, this is a debate. This is not, shall I send that source? And you're talking about the source and everything. Your interjection should be based on facts. Am I supposed to tell
So
you
Yes,
how
that's
an
why I'm
interjection and
asking.
how a debate works? I'm not going to take this. I'm going to scrap this. Thank you so much. You've already crossed 7 minutes. And again,
thank you.
the debate was for religious teachings and not for on religion. All right, my last contestant for the day is Mariam. Mariam, are you there? Mariam?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, go on, Mariam.
Okay. Can anyone tell me why do we go to school or an educational institution? Well, the answer is simple: to learn and gain knowledge so that we all can have a better future for ourselves, our families, and we can contribute into the country's development. And we all will be applying for jobs in a few years. So you tell me, how many of you will be mentioning your religion in your resume? Absolutely no one. As you can very well see, today I, Mariam Naseem, from Dev Samaj School Sukhdev Vihar, will be speaking against the motion. You see, religion is a personal choice and and a way to live one's life. And people need to understand that there should be a fine line between our personal beliefs and a professionalism or institution. An institution's whole motive is to educate the masses and make us better learners for life. Is the school is the first step towards achieving professionalism. Let's see that we include these religious teachings in our curriculum. Would the students be able to benefit from it? Because we all know that India is a diverse country and one won't be able to justify all the religious teachings simply because it is not possible to have all the knowledge about all the religions. And even if we do so, we will be burdening the students and pressurizing them, as an extra subject would be the last thing that a student would want to be added in his curriculum. Don't you all agree? Who would want that? I don't think so. Like I said earlier, on the inclusion of these religious texts, people may become biased towards religious languages and their authors because this biasness would finally lead to subjectification of religious languages and the artwork of their authors because people will start to feel that a particular language belongs to a particular religion and we shouldn't study it. People will become prejudiced about the languages and the religions. Now, even if we include this subject in the course, minorities would feel neglected because they may not be a part of the majority group of students belonging to a particular religion. So, they will be barred from many activities during the day that will be held in accordance to the majority religious groups. And so you see, if we try to implement this, we might hurt the minorities. Also, any discussion regarding any religion in the classroom might hurt the beliefs of other students that the religion is being questioned, would, which none of us would like. In continuation of my previous point, I'd also like to say that some people might see other religions as superior or inferior, or it may even make them hate other religions. Will that be good for our society? Will that prove to be a good sign for the future of our youth and our country? We all believe in science, and it is because of science that we are living in this modern world. But I'd like to throw some light on how science and religious teachings are contradictory towards each other. Well, science teaches us that we, humans, evolved from monkeys and many other things about the evolution theory. But these religious texts tell us differently. This can give rise to confusion among the learners whether to believe which context. We all know this, don't we? We live in a country where there are many religions, many religions thrive in this country. And at the same time, these religions have been divided up into different sects and castes. This might open a window of casteism, or it might create some misconceptions and provoke the young minds, and encourage them to practice casteism. We all have been given equal rights by the Constitution, despite of what our beliefs may be or from which caste we belong to. But do you think this will be good for the betterment of a society? Because these are things that a student shouldn't know about, and then they will get to know about it. Because we know that there are many conservative families that may not push their children to learn these. Recently, one of the Indian states prohibited religious instructions. That state is Kerala, where the literacy rate is as high as that of all the states in India. The government did so by saying that the constitution allows establishment of educational institutions and the choice of education.
But these rights do not extend to dilute the secular nature of education. And it further added by saying that there is a difference between religious instructions and religious study. While the latter is constitutionally allowed, the former is not permitted in schools. Regional religious teachings, religious teachings are oral storytellings. They preach about morality, love, peace, brotherhood, etc. But with digitalization and present COVID scenario, teaching methods should be changed. We can be as much creative and innovative as we want to be. We can teach the young minds through many different ways. We can use virtual explanation or we can use many art forms as we have a variety of art forms in India that can be used to inculcate these moral values in children. Also, nowadays, young children are taught moral values in school at the early age because that age is a stage where habits can be developed very easily. So, I'd like to conclude by
Mariam,
saying
5 minutes are
that,
left. 5 minutes are done. Remember?
okay. So, I'd like to conclude by saying that religion controls people's actions, the way of perspective, and the way they act. And I do agree that people should know about religions and the values, but it should be limited till their zone. Because we live in a vast nation. So let's work towards living with unity in it and touch the heights of success. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful, Mariam. Wonderful points, wonderful composure, gesture, and everything. All right. So now I open the floor for interjection. Honhar and Bhumika wants to interject. Honhar, I'll let you go this time.
Yes, sir. Sir, she talked about the biasness of authors, but to finish that biasness, that is why we are saying to educate those people about the religious teachings. That is why we have to teach them so that this biasness can finish.
Right.
Okay, nice question, Rona. But like I said, there are many conservative families. They may try a lot to push children to know about these religions, but like I said, there are many conservative families that may not encourage the children to learn about these because they're not open up about these things. They do not wish to be that open that okay, their children can learn about these religions and be more open to the society.
Okay, but we have to change the mindset of those families now. We have to change the mindset of those families by teaching the religious teachings in their school academic. If they'll grown up by learning those things, they will not having their mindset like that in their uh, 20s or 30s.
Okay, I haven't researched on that, but I to definitely research on that. Thank you.
All right. So, well, that brings an exciting end to the campus care debate. And now let's listen from the judges and their viewpoints, beginning with Rakesh sir, R.K sir. Sir, you're on mute.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir, loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Good evening to all of you once again. It was really very interesting and very mind blowing to listen the views for the motion and against the motion. But as the this coordinator said that it is not a religious. We are not talking about the religion first.
Right.
We need to understand that it was topic was should religious teachings be part of academic curriculum, which some of the participants have taken it very nicely. They have talked about that religious good things from the religions can be incorporated within the education system. That is okay. But we were not talking about the religion, but most of you have gone so far in that territory where you should not have gone, as suggested by the coordinator. But apart from that, some participants have put their thoughts in a very practical and very approachable manner, which was very age appropriate and sounding well for their age. So it was a good debate for me, and I congratulate each and every one of you for putting their thoughts.
Thank you so much, RK sir. Thank you so much for the and again, I fully concur with what you're saying. That's why I mentioned it because it was going into that tangent which would have been very, messy to begin with. So,
Yes,
moving
yes.
forward to Bijo sir. Bijo sir, what are your viewpoints?
First of all, let me congratulate all the participants. You all presented quite well. I'm quite impressed with the way you have done the research. Some of the speakers have been really done a good work. As the religion and the religious teaching has been misunderstood by the generation, that I could be reflected in the debate also. We consider that religion is something which is to be scared of, and it's something to be, because that's what we learn from our media, from our newspaper. So definitely it has been actually made in our young minds start thinking religion is something to be scared, or is something related to the what do you call as terrorism. So it's not basically that the religious or religious teaching, I can say every religion, when it has been formed, or when it has been when the teachings are basically to love each other, to help each other, to have the virtues, they all, the underlying values of every religion remains the same, even though the methods may be different. Every religion teaches you to do one thing only: love your brother, love your fellow
Love thy
person. That's
neighbor.
what the
Yeah.
religion teaches. So now how you implement this religious teaching is something which is the young generation has to learn. It's nothing that actually need to be extreme, or it's nothing that one religion is superior to another religion, is not what we are debating about. We are saying that actually, as one of the contestants actually has a very good question, and I really liked it. She asked, okay, why don't we spend money into medical doctors to, instead of wasting time in religious? So it's a very good question and very good practical point. But at the same time, the life is not only about the physical care; it also have an emotional care. It also have a mental care, which needs something called spirituality, also equally important in terms of, doctors definitely can give you physical care, but the religion, or the anything which gives you peace. I'm not talking about any particular religion. Anything that gives you peace, which gives you emotional quotient, can be taken care. That has to be there. Some of you had taken the level of the debate to a very, very good extent. Some, yes, a little underprepared. Some I could feel somebody else was just reading it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't do that. Actually, see, at the end of the day, every religious teaching is also that, we are competing with our own. Actually, there's no need to cheat anything like that. It's like we present a point. We will be, see, we are. I'm sure all the educators are very senior members, and they can definitely understand whether you are speaking from your heart or whether you are speaking from a screen.
Bijo sir, I'm sorry to interrupt in between, but I actually made it a point
Yeah.
while taking the test runs and everything, and I made it clear that you can act as much smart as you can, but we will get to know who's reading and who's not reading.
True, true, true.
So I don't know. Still, people went and did it, but then again, we all know what who was
Yes,
reading and who
yes.
was not reading.
But don't do that. Actually, you have done a good job. You have done a good
Yeah.
research. In fact, there is a lot of courage, in fact, to come in the front of people and put on your points. I congratulate all of you. Your voice modulations, your gestures. In fact, across the participants, I'm quite impressed with the way you have been presented your views. Once again, wish you all the very best and congratulations to all of you, whoever the winner is. But I congratulate all of you. And also, thank you, Entab, to take up this pandemic time to bring up a platform for children, and keep doing your good work.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Bijo sir. Thank you so much. Parminder ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. So it was really a great experience interacting with these young minds or listening to these young minds. They put in very good points for the motion as well as against the motion also. But the thing which was concerned was they misunderstood, or you can say and they made the flow of the topic in their own sense. You can say
Mm.
religious teachings and religion, they mixed up both. But at the end of the day, the thoughts put in by all, they researched a lot for that, and they were really, really. We are pleased to hear all the thoughts of everyone. Some very nicely executed portions were there. So, and really, I would like to congratulate each one of the contestants and their mentors as well for preparing so well for researching into the things. And according to me, the religion and religious teachings, they should be set apart.
Yeah.
So it can be, the religious teachings can very nicely be woven into the fabric of the academic curriculum. So there is no denial for that, because these are the most important things which are required by this materialistic world, present materialistic world. Emotions, moral values, ethics, all are losing. So these are important. Religion is not important. Religious teachings are important, which need to be valued more. So once again, I would like to congratulate all the contestants for putting forth their views in front of all. And we also had taken a lot from them. And whosoever the winner may be, my sincerest congratulations to all of you for your efforts, for showing courage, for in participating in this event, and congratulations to Team Intab as well for this commendable effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the lovely words, ma'am. Exactly, again and again, the same thing. But it's okay. These are kids. At least they've made a mistake here so that they don't go out there and make a mistake. So, no problem. Over to Dr. Ranjan.
Yes,
Sir,
it was
yeah, there
really
you go.
lovely. It was lovely to listen to the young ignited minds. They have definitely worked hard, but little bit of direction they need to seek help from the teachers, seniors, or even their fellow colleagues. So that way one should know, because when you are coming to a platform of such stature, where you are being watched by so many, you are listened by so many people. So you need to know how to take part in debate. So see, there is one thing in life: either you convince me or get convinced.
Yeah.
So when you are in favor of the motion or against the motion, so you have to follow that policy. Either I convince, or I should be get convinced by others. So for that matter, certain work for any event, there is some kind of pre-work which is needed, and after that, on the spot work, I will be delivering, and post facto would be what all I could have done better or where I have gone wrong. So that way, pre-work, on the spot work, and post facto is very important for any event, to take part in any event. So they are all the participating children. I advise them to. You have done pretty well, but there are little scope. You can work on that. And like all my fellow judges have already told, that what is the topic, you should understand that better. You should understand it properly. What is the topic? So you should not be confused. There should not be any deviation. And second thing, when you are in such a platform, see how you put across, how you are framing sentence, grammar, because you may be a junior student, but when you are taking part in the same classification, same group, we will be judging you at par. So that's why your vocabulary, terminology, grammar portion, all these to be taken care of. And a lot of brainstorming is also required. Although at this young age, you people, the way you are put across, you people have worked, devoted a lot of time. So it is really praiseworthy. So I congratulate all the participating children from different schools, and it was a nice effort of Intab. And thank you for calling us. And I wish my sincere gratitude to all of you, all the stakeholders. Thank you. That is all from my side.
Thank you so much for the lovely words and the support that you've always ushered us with, sir. And so now I have the list of winners with me. And for the motion, considering every aspect that we discussed, every aspect the judges and the jury members also mentioned. So the winner for the motion category, actually there's a tie. One is first is Ashita, and from Dalan Sunbeam School, and then the next one is Pari from Bluebells Gurugram. So congratulations to both of you. There's a tie for the motion, and now for against the motion, Adi from Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vihar has won. So these are the list of congratulations to all the winners, to all the participants. Don't lose heart. And till we meet next time, for my lovely viewers, keep on liking and share the video as much as you can. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you soon on Monday with a new event that we are coming up with. It's called CampusCare Global, wherein the world will be at one stage. So kids from not only India, but students and children and kids from Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai, US, America, and US and America are the same, and Europe, they're all going to come and take part. So make sure you're there. All right. Have a nice day. Good night. Take care. Good evening.
Thank you.